and why you want to do this course.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year program that you'll be doing.
Yeah. So, okay. One thing, so interesting with Buddhism is that one of the precepts of Buddhism is, one of the 10 precepts that we need to live by is that we don't do any incorrect speech. And incorrect speech meaning gossiping, bitching, talking behind back of people, and talking with hatred, anger, all kinds of things possibly coming. I remember studying in my 8th standard, I remember my English teacher, Bhavani, good manners. So one of the good manners that I was taught was, do not talk about anyone in their absence. If you want to talk to them, but do not talk in absence. That's something I remember, and I actually very strongly believed in till I walked into LGBT community, because our community survives and thrusts so much on gossiping and bitching. I ended up becoming part of it, I think, greatly. But also, with the what also triggered the entire debate when Harish Iyer gave this ad, Iyer preferred ad in a newspaper. Suddenly, we started talking how this ad is not in right sense. This is not appropriate. This is not welcoming. There is a problem with the ad. Then it went on.
Does everybody know about this ad? You do, Indivar, why don't you just tell everyone?
No, I think we should that. There was an ad in the newspaper for Harish and it said Iyer preferred.
They say it was his mother, we don't know. They say it was his mother. A groom for my son.
Yeah, a groom for my son, and Harish Iyer was by then quite a well-known face of the community that way. So then they putting it back, ad is one thing, and then they went on to say that a paper publishing an ad and we publishing such an ad is a very progressive thing. Then a lot of us had a problem with it, and we started talking about it, how it is problematic. In the process, when the conversation started, should I wait? When the conversation started that how this ad was problematic, we were talking about what are the problems about this ad. Then this slowly, after the first day, it went on to targeting Harish and his mother. How you're this, that, and how you're casteist, blah, 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 everything. It has become a fight between individuals. It has gotten nasty. Gotten personal, nasty, and yelling at each other, abusing each other at a altogether different level. And I am kind of trying to, I was thinking why, the conversation need to happen around this, but I'm not comfortable the way conversation was happening. I was troubled by the way the conversation was happening. Is it the only way that we can actually talk about this particular issue and even talk to Harish Iyer or his mother, or is there any other way to talk? Then I still disagree with what Harish Iyer did and point out what the problem is. And not say that you are casteist, but your ad is casteist. It's one act of yours, not entire life of yours. And when I also say that, can I actually say in kindness and in respect that we all have limitations in our lives? None of us are like this perfect in whatever we do or whatever we believe in. We have our limitations, I believe, and we constantly are at work to overcome those limitations. So when we find limitation with someone else, do we simply point out, humiliate and target and attack the person, or because when a parent finds a young child doing something not so okay, you see it's child's ignorance, not knowing something, doesn't having an experience, and you'll rather be, at least expected rather as a parent to be kind and teach the child in love and kindness, rather than yelling and attacking or saying that how horrible you're a person as. So can we do the same kind of conversation with Harish Iyer? Or anyone for that matter? In our entire difference of opinions and fights and struggles, can we talk to someone with our entire difference of opinion with kindness and love and compassion? Is it possible? I believe it is very much possible. And also because with the entire idea of kindness and love, I think we have, I'll be the judge who deserves it. I'll decide who deserves that I'll be kind to. We'll never think the same about us. We'll never say that in these situations I don't deserve kindness and love. He'll rather think in these situations, these are the situations where I need actually most kindness. But we don't think the same about others. We think that you can talk and making a point, proving becomes the agenda rather than actually communicating and conversing. And most of the things what I also realize in our activist space or LGBT space, we react like knee-jerk reactions, whether it is government, whether it is state. In activist space, mostly they are reactions, immediate dharna, or I'm not saying they're wrong, but can we little slow down and frame it and bring it into a response? Rather than starting and ending with a reaction, though we might start it as a reaction, can we make it a response, evolve it as a response rather than a reaction? So most of the times, we end up reacting in a way that we don't even know why we are reacting. We're conditioned. We are conditioned in many ways. As much as we say gender is a conditioned thing, boy, man and woman are taught so and all that, I think most of our conversation, talking, everything is very much conditioned. That how we talk, how we react or respond, or when we respond, when we react. And also because we teach constantly all our children that you need to keep running, you need to be successful, you need to make something out of your life. And there is no way you can take a break. So when you say someone to run so much, they'll never learn how to actually sit back, think, and then respond. They'll only learn how to react. And then when parents yell at children and all that, how dare you yell at us? Please, you have taught us that. No one else taught it to us. Yesterday I was at my elder brother's house. Their father passed away. My father's father passed away some time back, and we were doing some rituals yesterday and all whatever, and I was there. And my uncle was sitting in the balcony or whatever, and then his grandson, probably 4 or 5 years old, I think. He was walking out of the door. He holds like this. He holds his hands like this and he walks. Immediately this uncle, he yells at him. How dare you walk like that? Is that the way to walk? Atlane nenu nadchedi? He calls him, points it to other person, probably 2 years elder to him. See how he walks. And then I'm like, I understand what you're trying to tell him. Before even I contest what you're telling him, can you tell it differently? Can you tell it with little no anger and convey? I have a lot of problems with what even you're conveying, but can you at least convey that even very problematic thing with little kind and love? He's like, no, you need to fear. He'll only understand that he's making a mistake when he fears you. I'm like, won't he actually understand how to be angry rather than understanding what you're trying to tell him? That is what he'll see you right in front, on your face first. Before even he hear your words, what he'll see on your face is how you're reacting. What happens to your facial expressions. And then gradually that child will learn how to be angry, how to react, how to yell at people, everything. And then when they do the same thing in school, when they fight with other children, we go and say, this is what we are teaching you. Honestly, this is what you're teaching them at home. By all means. So, simple communication, conversation, most of the activists, whatever debates and conversation, as I was telling you earlier, in entire Buddhist tradition, debate is a huge part of the entire tradition. We are trained how do we debate, how do we talk, converse, because we believe that something need to be learned. It doesn't, like anything else in Buddhism also is like one thing you can't, kindness, loving, compassion, these things are not some things that you borrow from someone else, or these are not things that come some miraculously by someone's blessings. These are the things that you practice and learn every day with every action that you do, every thought that you have. That is for a long time with my parents, because I've always been a difficult child doing whatever I wanted to do. My father always had a problem with anything that I say and do. There's no doubt about that. And we had whatever conversations and arguments, sometimes very unpleasant arguments also. Then for me it was always like, I can't give in. How much ever my father says, I can't give in. is one thing. But my very recent understanding was that fine, can I be as much as the disobedient child I have been always and can still be kind to them? Can I reach a point where I'll be the disobedient child I've always been? I'll not give in. I'll do what I want to do. But in the entire process, can I still be kind to them? And that's something I see it in my own experience. That's pretty much possible. And again, I'm not saying let's not go into the Gandhian era of like hit one, so another cheek where your family abuses. I'm not take the abuse and all that. I'm talking about mere communication, how we do that. Where it gets beyond a point where someone is abusing you, defend yourself, there's no doubt about it. And leave the place. But when it is not, most of our things start with communication, arguments and debates. No? So can that happen in a very different space than it is happening right now? Like my parents now, I sit and talk to them and they talk to me. Like, and also in the process I also realize how much do I react to my parents. Because I believe whatever I'm saying, doing is so right. It might be right, there is no doubt about it. But that right is not necessarily right to them and they won't understand it, where they come from. So can I also stop reacting with my self-righteousness? Most of us actually react with our self-righteousness, I think. Because we so much believe in what we do and also so owe it up, which is good. Take so much of pride in it and there's no doubt about it. But that pride, that sense of ownership and that I am the self-righteous person gives away that I can say anything, I can react and other person need to hear. Like other person is wrong. So they need to hear. So in the entire protests and dharnas and everything also, we say state is wrong, state. When entire Rohit Vemula incident also happened, that's also something I think which was a triggering point for me. We said state is casteist, university is casteist, but this is something not new. It's the state system, everything have been casteist for a longest time, we all remember, I think, in our memories. It has not been any different. But why does again the same question goes to is, fine, Rohit Vemula couldn't look up to university, state, authorities and anyone. Why couldn't he even look to his own community? Look to our so-called progressive liberal people. Where were we? Is something we don't look at. Because we constantly also, I remember one particular incident in LGBT community. Of course, one was this time Mr. What is it called? Mr. Gay World or Mr. Gay World or something is going on from quite some time, from few years. And some people were going from India and participating and all that.
So like the Mr. Universe.
The same typical replica of Mr. Universe. And also there was one Muslim Kerala boy who got selected for Mr. Gay World in some year, 2015 I think. Then after the news went out in media, his family living in Kerala in a particular Muslim neighborhood and everything, they were in a very, very threatening space, completely. And the progressive activist gay crowd or whatever in gay community, like, he should go anyway. And in the process, if he becomes a martyr, he should become one. I'm like, in what way, by what foundation are we wanting to achieve our rights and our justice and whatever we are talking about? Like asking someone outright, openly to go give away their life. And that's totally okay. We're not saying anything wrong. It's his responsibility towards the community. And he got an opportunity like that, he can't deny. And when he actually did not attend, he has been said plenty many things by plenty many people, I think, in the community. So that way we are, also because in the entire process, like, we want to be kind, compassionate, loving and everything to all of us. At some point we all think about it also, no doubt about it, because I believe that is our very nature. Be kind rather than be angry. Anger and everything, I believe we learn much later. As kids grow up, we learn anger, we learn hatred, we learn taunting, all by bullying and everything we learn. But by nature, I think we are kind. We all at some point think about it. At least when it comes to us, we think about it. But in the process, we are not kind and loving and compassionate to ourselves. And when your own pot is empty with no water, how will you serve anyone else who is thirsty? And we ourselves are so much guilt. I think thanks to Hinduism and Christianity, I think there's so much of guilt that they're pumping into each of us, that you need to feel guilty for everything wrong you do, or every mistake you commit, every fall you have. And you need to hold on to that guilt again. You can't let it go. You need to redeem yourself by holding on to the guilt. I mean, not hold on the guilt. And also when I question why we, as a community, we failed when Vishal killed himself, an queer artist, or when Rohit Vebla killed himself, I won't ask that question saying that as a community, as a collective, we need to feel guilty. I asked that question saying that can we feel responsible? Can we not feel guilty of things, and can we feel responsible? That rather helps us move on in a better way, rather than whereas guilt holds us back and drowns us. And in the entire guilt, you are not kind to yourself, you are not loving to yourself anymore. We are so much of we are burdened because we are asking for burden, but because burden makes us also feel like I'm doing something in life. You do not feel burdened to feel that you're doing something in your life.
The guilt becomes a cycle.
Yeah.